I liked it on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter. INSiiGHTS.
Yeah.
2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
All right, y'all.
Look, I'm on
Here
the.
we are. Oh,
Sorry, Coach.
I thought that was part of your skit.
No, man. Look, man. I told Adam Schefter. I told him this time, leave me alone. He wants to, wants me to feed him tips and all. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mick and Rick Show. It's me, your reporter, Rick Brown, with the man, the myth, the legend, Mickey Clayton. What's up, Coach?
Man, that's an intro. That's an intro there. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. How you doing, Rick?
Man, if I was any better, I'd be a million. Yeah, I'd be a millionaire if I was any better, Coach.
I love it, brother. Say any better, you be a millionaire.
Yeah, I only need 999,099 more to go. But hey, we're working on it.
You're almost there.
Man.
Oh,
one at a time, bro. One at a time.
Rick, boy, it's been interesting in the world of sports. It's been going on. First thing, my Browns, all that they were talking about, Deshaun found the cheat code, and boy, did we roll.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. That gets us going a little bit. We need that.
Yes.
Sports and go wild.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, Rick, man, I appreciate you so much, man. We be trying to do this thing and get it going, trying to bring something new to you all the time. And we got some guests coming. We got an annual visit from Dr. Julian White.
Wow.
We're going to get him the week before homecoming. Let people know a little bit about how important that 100 is. With all the different things that go on the campus and the things that we have going on. And the band is just instrumental to all of it. The band is just instrumental to it all, Rick. It's something. It really is. It's something. So we need him to come on. He gives us an insight and a perspective that most people don't get.
Indeed, Coach. Indeed. I totally agree with you. I mean, the band, it brings a different level, a different energy to football games at all levels, but especially at black colleges. It's nothing like it, man. And folks, if you've never been to a black college football game, go to one with a great band like Florida A&M. Or you can even go, if you're down here in Central Florida, you can go down the road to Cookman, but I'm not going to talk about Cookman yet. I'll wait for them. But no, seriously, wherever, the atmosphere is just phenomenal. It is definitely different, and it's more than just a game with black college football. It's the experience, and you got to get there for tailgate. Coach, when you were with the Boosters, how early did they try to get into their assigned spaces so they could tailgate before games? I mean,
Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon, Rick.
Facts.
Oh,
facts.
We used to have an event we called Friday Night Strikes, and Dr. White would have the freshman member of the band. He said they needed extra work. He needed to find out who his dogs were going to be. And they would come and perform, and we would have entertainers on Friday night. Everybody off Perry Street would be over there on Friday Night Strikes. The band would march down from from a music hall, and man, people would be out there then. I mean, you had to try to restrict them. Now, whenever we open the parking lot, if it was 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, they were already there. They were already there.
It's an experience. It's an experience. You have to put it on your bucket list. Trust me. Hey, look, you know I'm always going to give it to you straight, no chase. It's an experience you will not forget.
All facts. All facts. And man, the stories that we could tell you just about homecoming and carrying on, that's a whole show in itself. And that's just talking about the parking lot. That's woo. Woo. In fact, hey, that's how we got Game Day.
Game Day. I was about to say, and if you don't believe it, check out Game Day the movie. I was about to say it, Coach. Facts.
Game Day the movie. So, we try to keep it, people hooked up, try to be organized a little bit. We have Gene Granger from McClay Basketball and GBL. And, he and I have a venture that, that we're doing. And yeah, so we're going to talk about it, let people know about it. We got an open house coming, so people can come out, get a chance to see the facility, how we have it arranged for 1st through 6th graders with limited number of students. So, we're going to be able to provide some services to people who working during those holidays, but it's always an issue when you have to go to work and the kid's not in school. So between GBL and INSiiGHTS, we're going to put that thing together, and we're going to go with it. So that's what we're trying to do. But you see, Sports Diva won't let you go. She said, wasn't Rick in Game Day the movie? Rick was the athletic director, Southland Tech.
Got cussed out more than daggone a teacher with a student with a bad grade. I'm telling you, it was fun. It was fun.
Don't you know I'm the athletic director of this school? You won't be here very long.
I don't care who you are. I know you better have my pocket space right there. Yes, ma'am. Oh my God.
Say, Rick.
Yes.
What do you have for us? Did you know?
Oh man, Coach, did you ever play with a yo-yo when you were a kid, or the girls play with yo-yos?
Yeah.
All right. Well, did you know the yo-yo began as a weapon in the 16th century in the Philippines before being distributed as a toy in 1929 in the U.S.? It was said to have weighed 4 pounds and had a 20-foot long cord at the time when it was a weapon. Whoo! Can't you see those ninjas with? That was a yo-yo. That's how the yo-yo came about.
What was that? Right. A boomerang on a stick?
I don't know. Now I'm sure some of the fans would get a kick out of this one. I need a drink for this one though, Coach. Hold on for a second. Okay. Did you know alcohol is considered a performance enhancing drug in most shooting sports, as it calms the body down and allows you to shoot straighter. So if anyone ever gets caught with alcohol in their system doing shooting events, they're out of there. And if you ever come in my house, unexpected, well, that's another story. All right, one more. One more, coach. One more.
I
Did
love
you,
this.
did you ever watch that show on HBO, Curb the Enthusiasm?
I never saw that one.
Yeah, me either. But the show, seriously, the show once saved a man from being falsely accused of murder. The show was filming at Dodger Stadium the night this murder took place in California. The show's cameras miraculously filmed Juan Catalan, who had been accused and arrested of a murder, at the game that night. By them catching him on film, it proved his alibi as well as his innocence.
Get out
Wow.
of here.
True story.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. He told him, I was at the game. I was at the Dodger game. And they're like, yeah, huh? Yeah, sure you were.
Wow.
And they showed it. They showed it. Hey, it's there. It's there. And he got off and turned it into
from the
big time.
Wikipedia. Boy,
Nah.
hey, boy, you keep coming with stuff, man. You keep coming with stuff.
I thought that one was interesting. And
You
I thought
that was pretty good?
y'all would get a kick out of the alcohol one. Some people would get a kick out of the alcohol one. I don't know why, but I thought they would.
Yeah, it's like that cup you continue to drink from with all that Pepsi in it.
Insights.
Oh, let's
As a senior, he had the
see
highest
what we
completion
got
percentage
here.
in the country, throwing for over 3,000 yards with 31 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. He won Florida State their first ever national championship that year, and he won the Heisman Trophy with the 4th largest margin of victory ever. However, instead of preparing for the NFL draft after the football season, Charlie then joined Florida State's basketball team as the starting point guard. He averaged 11 points with 5 assists and 3 steals a game, and the team went all the way to the Elite Eight. In April 1994, Ward should have been a top pick in the NFL draft. But teams were telling him that since he was only 6'2", he was too small to play quarterback at the next level. So Charlie made the decision that if he didn't get drafted in the first round, he wasn't going to the NFL. Nobody picked him in the NFL draft, but 2 months later, the New York Knicks selected him 26th in the NBA draft. He ended up playing 11 years in the league and made $35 million. Charlie Ward was such a good athlete that in 1993 and 94, he was drafted by the Brewers and Yankees to play in the MLB, even though he never played college baseball. Not enough people talk about how incredible he was, and to hear more stories like this, drop a follow.
Damn.
Did you know that he got drafted for Major League Baseball as well?
Mm-hmm. And did not play.
And did not play.
Wow.
Did
Coach
not
Ward
play.
is an athlete. He was an athlete. He really was. He was something special.
Yeah, yes, he was. And he's a good guy.
No doubt.
We always get a tremendous response when we have him on the show. And do you know how many times, he's been on often, but do you know how many times he's turned us down? 0, 0, 0, 0. Every time we've asked Charlie to be on the show, he's been on the show. He's just a really good guy.
Humble. And
6'2",
still humble.
Still humble. 6'2" quarterback, but he was too little. He was too little.
I appreciate it, Coach, and of course, I always thank Insights for covering high school sports. You all kind of open that door for high school sports to be viewed by those on the outside. And I know football is doing more now. I mean, I think one of the stations are doing high school football. But you guys are the ones that kind of help open that door for high school basketball to be shown. I know you've been doing it for some time, but we appreciate your support.
Just just the kind of guy he is. And he is right. We opened the door for it with high school sports, even with football. And I have to say that Earl Hankerson at Rickards High, he helped us get it going in a lot of different ways. But we also have something here. We got something here from Rick.
Rooted in substance, not flash. Rooted in substance. Today, we talk with our pads. You talk with your helmet, right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. There's a difference, right? There's a difference, right? This game ain't going to be played in Hollywood. It's going to be played on the grass, right? It's going to be played on the grass. Let's go.
Prior to Saturday's game between Oregon and Colorado, Dan Lanning said to his players what every non-Colorado, non-Deion Sanders fan has been thinking. Colorado is nothing but flash and bling and social media clicks. So Saturday's 42-6 Oregon victory over the Buffaloes made a whole bunch of people happy. No Aflac to save you here, Deion. And everyone had something to say. All the sport think tanks and talk shows alike. Everyone leading off many highlight packages with the loss. Hey world, Deion got his, and the world is better for it.
Something like this is I'm not going to say, people around the country would say this is what they needed to humble themselves. We wasn't arrogant or whatever. We're confident people. If our confidence offends your insecurity, that's a problem with you. It's not us. We expect to do well. We expect to play well. We expect to win every game we step out there. We expect to practice to perfection and go out there and execute the things that we practice. We just didn't do it today.
When the season started, true football fans knew the Oregon game, followed by this Saturday's USC game, were going to be a tall order for the Buffaloes. These are two teams that are playoff contenders, and one has the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. But many thought Saturday's Oregon outcome would be the same each and every week, with no one to save the Buffaloes. Man, in all my years of reporting and just being a fan of college football, I've never seen so much attention on one college football squad. Each week, someone has something to say.
Right. I don't think it's a target on our back. I just think this teams are trying to beat me. They're not trying to beat our team. They keep forgetting I'm not playing anymore. I had a great career. I'm serious. I got a gold jacket, ain't back. So I'm good. But that's what it really is. I don't think they get any extra satisfaction, It is what it is. And I signed up for it, so let's go.
Remember, this is year one for Sanders as he continues to learn what he needs to be successful on this level. He definitely has to recruit some linemen on both sides of the ball. Also, the team has to commit to the run, not only to keep some pressure off of Shedeur, but to also give the defense some time to rest. That will come. It is still a long season, and who really knows how it will all turn out. But best believe everyone will be watching, with or without shades.
And I understand what we're up against and what we have and what we need. One thing that I could say honestly and candidly, you better get me right now. This is the worst we're going to be. You better get me right now.
time. Deion Sanders is not attempting to be something new as a head coach. This is who he's always been. And to be frank, this is who Deion Sanders is entitled to be. Deion Sanders has earned this. And let's be real. Like, these coaches are saying certain things about Deion, and I agree with Shannon. I have no issue with what Dan Lanning said.
Neither do I.
But Deion Sanders is never trying to tear another man down to build himself up. I haven't heard Deion Sanders say a negative thing about another team or another man. Actually, when people come out and say things about him, he's always taking the high road. You know why? Because Deion Sanders ain't got to build himself up on nobody else. He is a Hall of Famer. He is a winner. He is a great coach. He is a great father. And so he doesn't have to do those things. And on the other side of that, Dan Lanning is correct. They do get a ton of clicks. Dan Lanning is correct. There are stars that go to Colorado that would have never gone to Colorado before because of Deion Sanders. But Dan Lanning, let's be very honest. You knew that camera was on. Dan Lanning, let's be very honest. You knew when you were talking at halftime, they were listening. Dan Lanning, let's be honest. The reason that the Oregon Ducks has 72 million different combinations of uniforms is because y'all want eyes on you. You want kids that are being recruited to want to play for you. And you know you ain't getting Offset and The Rock and all of those people to come to your school. So what did you have to do? You have to do exactly what everybody else is doing when they play Colorado. Yeah, you know why you said, I hope all of those people that's been watching them are watching today? Because you know they ain't just going to watch you. And nothing's wrong with what Dan Lanning's done, and nothing's wrong with what Deion Sanders has done. This is how it works. If your kids talk, if you talk, if you're confident, people gonna make you see about it. It's the great thing about our sport. So I ain't got no issue with nobody in this, but I want Dan Lanning to be very honest with himself. You did it for clicks too, bro. You did it for shine too, bro. It is what it is. But don't be fake.
Again.
Brian Clark. That guy has, if people listen to him, he comes correct in everything he does. And yeah, Coach, I know he was a Steeler, so you might feel some sort of way with him, but the dude was on point with that one. And he's right. Damn, he invited the cameras in to pregame. He knew they were there. That was on the stage, man. He wanted it.
And they have been eating Deion up. They ate up Ryan Clark. They called him a terrible journalist for what he said. They were Sports Diva said he called him bruh. He said, come on, bruh.
Come on, bro. But you know why they were eating him up, Coach. You know why. And Coach Prime said it in his after game comments. You know, because they're a confident team. They're confident, and they don't care what anyone else thinks. And if the people's insecurity, which is a lot of people, when you have a strong black man speaking his mind, doing things to that, he's not supposed to do that. This is what you get.
This is what you get. Earl the Pearl Hankerson, what's your thought on that?
Hey. Yo, what's going on, fellas? My thoughts, I'm trying to figure out who the hell is we. They say we are happy now. Who the hell is we? These people are trip.
He said these people.
Nah, man, listen. Anybody with any football acumen knew that they probably would win the first 3 games. The man is halfway to being bowl eligible, which is what I expected him to be anyway this season. And then we talked about him having to recruit the linemen. Who gonna stop him?
Right.
Who gonna stop him? So hell, I'm glad they're not in the SWAC no more. Hell, we would have never won.
Amen to that.
Stay your ass in the Pac-10, Pac-12, wherever it is.
Say wherever you at, I stay there.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's they hating on Deion, but we knew that we knew he wasn't national championship material. He's already did more than what they thought he would do. But like he said, this is his first year. He's able to recruit now, and that's their worst nightmare is that Deion can get in anybody's home that he wants to get into. As a close friend of his said, he said he doesn't like that comparison. He said, but he's like John Thompson was at Georgetown. He can get in any living room that he wants to get into, because if the kids aren't in love with him, the parents are. So he said he can get in any living room he wants to. One of his good friends said that. He said, but Deion doesn't like that, but that's the truth. And he's going to be in trouble this week. I mean, we didn't think he was going to be victorious in these games.
Hey, especially when your two best players not playing. Travis Hunt on offense and Travis Hunt on defense.
Travis sent a text to him, told him that he wasn't sitting out anymore, that he was going to be playing, and Deion told him, no, sir, you're not playing. Yep. He said, your future brighter than mine ever was. I mean, for his coach to tell him that.
That was deep, coach.
Gotta give him his respect. Absolutely.
You absolutely do. But we have Earl the Pearl Hankerson with us. The pride of Rickards High, boy. I tried to get you, Earl. I had the video clip with the cheerleaders holding you.
Oh my goodness.
Rick, look at Rick. I couldn't get it up. Boy, I spent 45 minutes trying to get it. That was gonna be your introduction, Earl.
Man, I told him I'm getting too old.
Holding him up, and he's standing up on the cheerleaders. Oh, I had him. You think I didn't see it?
I told him I'm getting too old for this. I did that years ago. Years ago, we did that, and they want to recreate it. We saw what you did. We saw what you did. Yeah, I was about 10 years younger. Man.
Well, Earl, tell us a little bit about what's going on in Rickards Athletics. I mean, you've been back and maybe 6 weeks now into the season, maybe not quite that much into the season, but about 6 weeks into the season, I need to ask you, the elephant in the room, what program has surprised you the most?
I would expect you to expect me to say volleyball, but I'm actually not as surprised with volleyball. You want me to be completely honest, I'm probably a little more surprised with football.
Okay.
And in the fact that we're not 4-0 or 5-0 or whatever the case may be. And so that's probably the program that surprised me the most, because I know how diligent Coach Lewis is with his guys. But it's some growing pains right now, and we need to hurry up and figure out how to grow up.
I have to say, I thought you were gonna take volleyball, Rick. I gave him the alley-oop.
He was not ooping. He came down with it and passed it back out.
He came down with it, passed it back out. That's what he did.
I'm gonna tell you about volleyball, and I know that team, when you look at that schedule, that they could be pretty good. I'm gonna tell you what I'm most disappointed by. What I'm most disappointed by is the fact that we don't get to play the best competition in Leon County has to offer. Not being able, and by the way, we won in straight sets tonight. Port St. Joe, I just got the text from Coach Lauriston. So how appropriate is that? But the fact that we did not have the opportunity to play the best that Leon County has to offer is a disappointment. That's something that we just got to change. We can't
Okay, wait a minute. What do you mean you didn't have the opportunity? You have the equal opportunity to prepare your own schedule. So tell us a little bit more about.
You're not required to. You're not mandated to play every team in the county anymore. Mm-hmm. And the upper echelon of teams feel like you're not worthy enough to play them to an extent. And I get it. I understand with the new playoff system and all of that with the rankings and this and that, teams are trying to protect their point totals. And if you're playing a team that is not as strong or have as strong of a strength of schedule, then you're penalized for it. But that's not fair at the FHSAA level, and it's not fair within your county because these kids want to be able to compete. And so you want to play the best. You want to have an opportunity to play the top schools so that you can see where you are as a program. And we don't get that chance not playing Childs. And then we may face Lincoln, but it won't be until the playoffs. And so you don't get a chance to expose your student athletes to the best that there is out there. And that's disappointing.
Your volleyball team now is what, 12-1 or something like that?
13. 13-1. Best record in school history. And they deserve, man. We have some very talented players. We have some really talented players, but they won't get a chance to showcase their talents against the best that we have to offer, such as Childs, Lincoln, and Leon.
Wow. And for those volleyball fans out there, we actually do next Monday night's game live. And we have a FAMU University varsity cheerleader, Caitlin Scruggins, with us. She's going to help do that game. She's a knowledgeable graduate student. Caitlin Scroggins, she did the last game. We had a problem with the audio, so I had to get her back. And she does an excellent job. She did a Rick Brown. She said, Coach, she started asking me questions. Coach, what position do you actually think is the most difficult position to play? I said, all of them pretty much. I mean, but she is a knowledgeable, well-spoken young lady. And Coach Gokam, the back-to-back SWAC champions, he and I have a pretty good relationship. And we asked him about some of his girls being on, and that Caitlin really wanted to do it. And we're excited about having her on. She's a graduate student from Texas Southern. She said she wanted to stay in the HBCU family. She got another year, much like your Rickards legend that we had talked about, who came back to play from Louisville and Bethune-Cookman. He got his graduate year at Florida A&M. But that's another question I want to ask you about, Earl. Kind of give us an update on some of those students that we started our program with, like Lanaya Lee. You have some kids that have gone on and have done well. Tell us about some of them.
Yeah, Lanaya, you spoke about Lanaya. She's graduated from the University of Central Florida, and she's getting prepared to go into medical school. So she is doing really, really well. Marcus Riley, now playing at FAMU, has come back to Tallahassee and really doing a great job. Took that kickoff back to almost break Jackson State back from the start. And he had a spectacular touchdown grab this past weekend. And so those are two of the really, really bright shining stars, among others. I had a chance to I saw a former cheerleader today in Publix, and she's doing really, really well. And you see those kids all the time, and it amazes me. And I say, wow, y'all are grown now. Y'all are really grown people now. So pretty amazing.
What about Kamari really McGriff? What did they call Kamari McGriff that played basketball?
He is at UNC Wilmington. if I'm not mistaken. He's doing really well. And so you probably will see him this year on TV actually playing. So he's doing a really good job. Man, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Those students that we have, they do some really, really outstanding things once they get out of high school, or once they continue to continue their education and just grow. Man, they're doing a great job.
And some of those are student athletes that we covered at Rickards when we first started. Some of the athletes, male and female, that were doing well and went off. A lot of them still stay in touch with us, follow their high school alma mater for the different events that they have. Rick, you have something you want to ask? I see it right on your tip of the tongue.
Yeah, Earl, talk about the adjustment for you as AD there, and what are your plans? What do you hope to build there?
Well, look, when Mick said you've been there about 6 to 8 weeks, it feels like 8 years already. Now listen, we're gonna continue to do what we've been doing. It's almost like I'm picking up from the first stint. And but one of the biggest things is we wanted to really rebuild the morale of our student athletes and student body, and we've been really I think we've been doing a pretty good job of that. I think most people will agree. We've started a couple programs already. We have our Culver's Student Athlete of the Week. We have our Full Press Apparel Student of the Week, and we're trying to recognize students. We've had already Warner Kia Athletes of the Week, which were highlighted last week and will also be on the CW for our game against Wakulla this week. We probably will have a WCTV Player of the Week. So just anything that we can do to build the morale of our students, that's what our goal is. And in talking with our coaches, I told them whatever decisions you make, if they're not good for student athletes, abort mission. Let's go a different direction. So hey, that's a good question, Coach. What you thought about the cheerleaders at the volleyball game?
Man, you had a full house. I know that's not LJ speaking to me right there, but you had a full house at that volleyball game, Coach. And they were completely into the game.
Into the game.
They were completely into the game. And I thought it was great atmosphere there. And we appreciate the fans that were there. They went to the game. And so it was really good. But I need you to tell the people about some of those new facilities. I mean, you can't even park in there now because y'all ate up the parking lot, creating those fields for athletic participation. Tell everybody about how Rickards has grown there and what they're doing.
Well, and the fields are beautiful. So the county came in. That was toward the end of my first stint. They came in and they put the fields back on campus. So seen many years ago, all of the fields were on campus, and then they moved them off campus, and now they brought them back. The only drawback, of course, is it takes away from your parking, but we're able to navigate some things. We have a pretty good plan of how to get people in and get them parked and get them to the game so that they can see their kids. And then, of course, the blue turf is always a sight to see. Out in we call it the Dead Sea. And so we get ready to we're going to play our homecoming on campus this year. And for any of our alumni, we're starting a 3013 campaign. 3013 Jim Lee Road is our address. We're going to be asking all alumni to donate $30.13. Just $30.13 donation in the class. With the most contributions, we're going to honor them during the game. They're going to win a banner. We're going to post a banner at the stadium, and then we're going to honor them during the game. So if you're a Rickards alum out there, we're going to have some information coming out from October 1st to October 13th. We're going to run our 30-13 campaign, and then we'll play Arnold High School on October 27th.
Okay, everybody, you heard it straight from the man. You know, you heard from Earl Hankerson, and doing things at Rickards, getting his sponsors and getting people to support the program, and that's always important to be able to have that where people can do things to support the institution. And sometimes you just got to be a little creative.
Absolutely. I see the creativity, baby. I see it, baby. I see it. I see it. Yes, indeed. Coach, we appreciate you, man.
We appreciate you, Earl. And, you know, it was so many times that we needed numbers to be able to do certain things. And you worked real hard to help us get those numbers and followers. And a lot of those people that subscribe to us are Rickards High School fans who now graduated, and they're the ones who come back watching your games. So your volleyball game ended up being well watched. People still continue to go in and watch it. As bad as the audio was, your coach got things rolling pretty good.
Yeah, I'm really proud of her, man. She's it's so funny. I hired her and Coach Lewis at the same time.
Did you?
And I did. And she has really built that program while she continues to elevate professionally as well. And so I'm really, really proud of Jemiah Lauriston and the job that she's done.
She has done an excellent job. Now, Rick, we were supposed to get a SWAC update from Earl. We ain't never get one. Man. But I know about his I knew you'd like that one.
They need to play it more often. Just play the whole damn game. That'd be great.
What do you say? Just play the whole game, Earl?
Man, that is a great rendition of "Let's Go."
Isn't it?
That really is. It really is. Hey, what happened? Rick done disappeared? There he is.
No.
Hey, look,
No.
I gotta get me one of the fancy backgrounds y'all got.
No, man, I was crying because I was really looking forward to the SWAC report, and because we lost the high school report because of the voice of Rickard High School had to, and we understood that. We understand, but it was just so sad. So I had to, shed a little tear, pour out a little liquor,
There you
whatever,
go. I've been swamped, man. I've been swamped.
Take some getting adjusted to.
Yeah, it does. Sometimes you think you still have the time that you had until it's actually go time. You realize, oh my goodness gracious. So, but I'm loving it, man. I'm having a good time. I'm built for it, baby. I'm built for this.
Well, tell us a little bit about what we can expect with basketball coming up. I'm thinking that both of those teams are going to be pretty good this year. Not putting the kiss of death on them, but
yeah, they've been working hard. Workouts are going pretty good. I'm seeing those guys. They're out on the track. The girls out on the track. They running, run. So we got one play. Run. But I think you're gonna see. I think you're gonna see a pretty good showing I would be very surprised if our basketball teams are not very good this year. But I think they're going to be pretty good. And the girls, especially because of that, the group that they're getting back, and the guys are going to be really good. We got two good guards. And, guard play can make the difference. And so I really believe in that. Those guys that we have, I think we're going to be pretty good, Coach.
And you have coaching staff that have been in place for a while. That makes a difference. Sharia Davis and Eli Bryant, both of them I think both of them might be dean of men's coaches and dean of women's coaches. I don't think we've had anybody been here longer than Eli.
Right.
And I don't think we've had or Sharia. There's something about having a consistent coaching staff that's been successful.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Model of consistency.
And now they got the AD back in place, so they got the AD.
I'm not going to do that with you, Coach.
Got the AD back in place. I'm not Quentin Lewis.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here. Oh, my God.
Hey, here, Rick and I, we glad to be anywhere. We just glad to be anywhere.
Facts. Right. Facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need y'all to subscribe to INSiiGHTS. Follow us. The show, we're on INSiiGHTS Roku on your phone. You get your mobile apps. We're right on there. Download us, INSiiGHTS, on your iPhone or Android with no further way than your telephone. And y'all don't go too far without that telephone. So
hey, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Coach, is it me or do I look as short as you did standing up next to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Stop. Hey, look at
He brings jokes. That's why we missed you, Earl. We missed you, bro.
Oh, taking shots. I knew I should have. I will find that video. It's gonna be up here next week if you are here or not. I'm gonna get that video.
See, Earl. See, man, you should just let it go. But
should have left well enough alone.
Go
ahead, Earl. Earl, go on and tell him the whole story. See.
Tell him the story. Mickey sent me a picture, and he's standing next to Kareem, Worthy, and what was it, Jamal Wilkes, maybe? Havlicek.
No, Havlicek.
Wow.
And I say, hey, Mick, who is the little short guy in the middle? And it was him. And we all know Coach is tall. I said, oh my God, you amongst the land of the giants.
Yeah, well, Coach, you're 6'3", right?
A midget.
6'6".
He looked like a midget, Rick.
You're 6'6".
Yep.
Rick, he looked like a tiny man. Hey, I can only imagine what I would look like standing next to him.
You and me both. Jeez.
Who is the little guy in the middle?
Hey, 6'6", looking like he's sub 5'10". Looking like him.
Looking like me.
It's like going to the first NBA game I went to, and I said, man, these big guys on the court, they make this court look small. They look like a little middle school floor.
Mm-hmm.
You watch them shoot. These guys aren't supposed to be good shooters. The 6'11" Tim Duncan and them, they out there shooting bank shots from 3, hitting 10, 11, 12 in a row. And I'm like, they say that guy can't shoot out there. Wasn't missing a shot. Wasn't missing a shot. Ah, Lord, y'all done got it started now. Sports Diva.
Hey,
Sports
I
Diva.
think that's the deal, Coach. If you show my video, you got to show that picture.
No, because I ain't gonna have your ass back on no more, so it won't matter. It will not matter. Oh man. Well, I appreciate you being in. We had thought we were gonna have Jalen Deloach and his dad from the factory on. I kind of thought, it might be an issue getting FSU to allow him to be on. And so we're thinking, we won't create any problems. But what we will do is get him when the season ends. And I want to do something. I've always wanted to do something on a guy going to the NFL draft and how they prepare, what they do, what they go through it, and get a little journal on them. So, maybe we can get them to do that. And I'll be with his dad when University of Georgia comes and his 6'9" son comes and plays Florida State. So I'll be in the Civic Center for that one. So
you mean we will be in the Civic Center?
I know that's right. But they got a 6'9" son, and he got his linebacker son who just was player of the week and skyrocketed up the draft boards. Some say he's the fastest linebacker in college, period. And he started off as a tight end, and they changed his position. And they told him that, he could be an exceptional linebacker, and he has become one. So, and the son that just transferred to go to UGA at 6'9", and the best athlete in the family was the daughter.
Wow.
She went to Ohio State in gymnastics or some things, and she was the best athlete. So a family full of them.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still reaping the benefits from having Coach DeLoach on in the factory. Having him on was a very popular show, and a lot of people made comments and reached out to him afterwards. Our friend Joey Lamar did something on it over there in Savannah.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we will look forward to continuing to grow it, and we appreciate you being here, Earl.
My
No
man.
problem. Hey, did Joey find that golf ball yet?
See, there you go, boy. He firing shots at everybody. See, he firing shots.
Pow, pow, pow.
Hey, now I don't know. You send the video to people, and they claim they watch it. You could tell some people if they watch it because they don't make a comment. So you say, they didn't see so-and-so talk about them, so no, they didn't watch it. We'll know if Joey watches it or not, because he's gonna come back at Earl. Earl and Joey golfing, boy. That's humor at its best. That's humor at its best.
With this being Florida Classic Week, the regular season ending football contest between the Florida A&M Rattlers and the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, doing a segment on this legend was a no-brainer. It is a guy who shined on and off the playing field, and a man Coach knows very well. This week, we pay tribute to former Bethune-Cookman Wildcats football and women's basketball coach, Alvin Shine Wyatt. And look, you look on the sidelines of most college football or basketball games, and the coaches are wearing either polo shirts or khaki pants or shirt and tie. At times, the head coach could get lost amongst all the team. Yet if you ever saw Bethune-Cookman during the late 70s through the early 2000s, you could always tell where Alvin Wyatt was. Known for his stylish clothing, including shades, Wyatt often looked like he was ready to go to the hottest party rather than coach's alma mater. But don't let the threads fool you. Wyatt was not only a hell of a coach, but he was a solid player as well. Born in Jacksonville, Florida in 1947, Wyatt was a 6th-round pick of the Oakland Raiders as a defensive back. He played 2 seasons in Buffalo and 1 with the then Houston Oilers. He returned to Cookman in 1978 to take over the women's program and took over as men's head football coach in 1997. During his time reigning the sidelines, Wyatt led the women's team to the 1984 MEAC title and holds the all-time women's mark in victories at the school with 245 wins. And you know you're a bad man when you have an entire offense named after you. In football, backed by the Wyatt Bone, an option-based offense, Wyatt led Cookman to a MEAC title in 2002 and back-to-back playoff berths in 2002 and 2003. And yes, Wyatt is also the all-time leader in football victories as well at the school. As I said, he has substance to go with this flair. and was inducted into the MEAC Hall of Fame in 2020. Whether styling on the sidelines or dancing after beating his arch rival FAMU in the Classic, Wyatt had a style that is unmatched by anyone and a competitive spirit to match. This is what makes him a legend.
How good a coach was he, Earl of Pearl?
Oh my goodness. Oh goodness gracious. You know, our head coach Quentin Lewis played under Coach White. Mm-hmm. And man, some of the stories are just hilarious. They're just as hilarious as he was a great coach. You know, you had some really, really funny stuff that he talked about. But you know, I also had the pleasure to block for his son, for Antoine, at Mainland High School. And you know how they say Gale Sayers, you give him 6 inches. Man, listen, his son was just as talented. You know, he ended up going to Clemson, coming back to Bethune, and then he played for the Philadelphia Eagles. But he was spectacular. He was spectacular. Yes, sir.
You got it straight from the Daytona Beach native.
Right there, baby.
I can speak on his basketball. He was a heck of a basketball coach.
I used to love y'all battles, Coach. I mean, and he always commanded an audience. People, and it's funny. This is the perfect daggone legend segment because we did Dion, who's more than just flash but substance. And if you first look at Coach Wyatt, you're like, what's going on here? But then you see what his teams do and how they always played hard and tough. And it was very, very rare that you saw a soft Bethune-Cookman team. And especially when they played FAM, because, I mean, you know, we talked about that, Coach. When rivals play, you don't have to get them hyped up. But if you see them without FAMU there, man can coach. He can coach.
Coach the girls that way too. Mm-hmm. And I remember we played them one time in Jake, and they had won the Florida Classic. This Negro walks in the gym with the Florida Classic
trophy.
Oh, he walked in with the trophy, sat it down on the scores table. I said, he was a special guy. But see, back in the day, Earl, I don't know if you remember when we used to have the Florida Classic in Tampa, and on Friday night, the basketball game.
Play basketball. That's right.
Oh man, you couldn't get in that sucker for the girls' game. No. It was full for the girls' game.
Standing room only.
Standing room only. No, that made everybody went to the basketball game. And actually the schools had decided, you know, we need to make some of this money. One more game.
Yeah.
And everybody.
I don't understand why we don't play it, if nothing less than as an exhibition or something. I don't know what the SWAC rules are, but you would, you know, that could really benefit both schools as a preseason type of classic or something.
Well, the season starts, so it could be a real game. But what happens is that the coaches didn't want to play each other 3 times. And I don't know, you know, when you change athletic directors, they kind of gave them the ability to not play that game. When you look at the dollars you make, if it makes dollars, it makes sense.
It makes sense. And I know some would say, well, then it cuts into the battle of the bands. But I don't think so. I think there are more than enough people to be able to go to both games. Or both contests, both events.
Sure
yes.
could.
Yes.
He said, yes.
Yeah.
You could make it a daggone. That weekend was great when it was here in Tampa. It was great. I loved it because I got to see hoops and then football. You couldn't top it. And you're right. Tampa, University of Tampa, their gym, standing room only. Oh man, the excitement. And you're right. If you didn't get there before the women's game, you weren't getting in.
That's right.
You were not getting in.
And we attracted crowds that weren't typical crowds in Tallahassee or in Daytona, because all alumni in that Tampa area, man, I get to see them and come into the game. Boy, you could not get in there. And then, boy, we'd be warming up for the girls' game, and we'd look up, and that sucker was packed before tip-off. You know, FAMU Bethune, you could sell out shooting marbles. And everybody would be there. They just would. And we appreciated that kind of support and that money, you know.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Indeed.
Oh, Lord. And there goes sports deal. Everybody getting stuck on the hotel elevators.
I'm
gonna leave that alone. And then the malls that closed down and wouldn't let us go in.
Yeah, and then a few years later, what happened to that mall?
Exactly. You know, that what goes around comes around there, doesn't it?
Facts.
That was ugly there. It really was.
Your attention, please. Stay up to date with the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 eyes in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is the copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the
That thing cut off kind of.
1, 2, go get go!
Yeah, there you go. I love it. I see you.
That's right. That's right.
That's it.
On the phone. Y'all need to get it. Y'all need to get it. Y'all need to get it. We appreciate y'all, Rick and Earl. We appreciate y'all being here. All of you here supporting Mick and Rick. We got a game coming up this Friday. Rickards and Wakulla. And we got the volleyball match on Monday. Man, Wakulla is undefeated right now. They rolling pretty doggone good. Last 4 games, they've scored 45 points or more. Ricky's got their hands full Friday.
Give us some motivation.
I know that's right. Hey, TCU went down.
Get him, coach. Get him.
Rick can do it. I know our guy Quentin Lewis gonna have him ready to go. We appreciate y'all, everybody. We will see you next week on the Mick and Rick Show.
Peace.
Thank y'all.